Hey everyone, today I want to talk about something that's been making waves in Southern Africa. The Southern African Development Community, or SADC, is holding its summit in Harare, Zimbabwe. Now, this summit was supposed to focus on economic growth, but there's a huge cloud hanging over it, and that cloud is Zimbabwe's troubling human rights record. Let's dive right in. President Emmerson Mnangagwa's government is facing intense scrutiny. There's been a surge in arrests, detentions, and violent crackdowns targeting activists, opposition members, and journalists. It's like they're trying to silence any form of dissent ahead of the summit. And this isn't just some minor issue, it's casting a huge shadow over the entire event. Pro-democracy activists in Zimbabwe are feeling the heat. There's been intimidation and even a recent attempted break-in at the offices of a prominent activist group. Critics are pointing out that this is eerily similar to the tactics used by Robert Mugabe. Despite promises of reform, Mnangagwa's government is still facing accusations of election rigging, silencing dissent, and committing human rights abuses. Now, here's the kicker. Zimbabwe is about to take over the SADC chairmanship. That's right. The country with all these human rights issues is set to lead the regional bloc. This raises some serious questions about SADC's commitment to human rights. Some folks are saying that SADC prioritizes stability and diplomatic ties over human rights, which could really undermine its credibility. International human rights organizations aren't staying silent on this one. Groups like Amnesty International and Human Rights Watch are demanding the immediate release of those unjustly detained and an end to the ongoing harassment of activists and opposition figures. Even the United Nations is expressing deep concern, particularly about enforced disappearances and torture against activists in Zimbabwe. They've urged Zimbabwe to uphold its international human rights obligations, but despite all this international criticism, Zimbabwe's government is standing its ground. They're defending their actions as necessary to maintain order and stability. Critics, however, aren't buying it. They argue that these justifications are just a cover for blatant attempts to stifle dissent and suppress political opposition. So, what does this mean for SADC? The upcoming summit is a critical moment for the regional bloc. SADC leaders have a chance to show their commitment to human rights and good governance. They need to engage in frank discussions with the Zimbabwean government about the deteriorating human rights situation and the urgent need for reforms. If they fail to address these concerns, SADC's credibility could take a major hit. Experts are emphasizing that upholding human rights and ensuring political stability are essential for achieving sustainable economic growth. SADC has the potential to facilitate economic progress by encouraging member states to adopt democratic reforms, strengthen the rule of law, and protect fundamental freedoms. By prioritizing good governance, SADC can create a more conducive environment for investment and foster regional integration. The situation in Zimbabwe is a significant test for SADC. Will they prioritize stability and diplomacy, or will they take concrete steps to hold their members accountable for their actions? The outcome of this summit and SADC's response to the crisis in Zimbabwe will have far-reaching implications for the future of human rights and democracy in Southern Africa. Thanks for tuning in and stay informed. See you next time.